So I've been gone for a while, and in that time I've gained interest in two things: drawing furries and YouTube slop. I know the term slop gets thrown around a lot, almost as much as this phrase, mostly used to describe stuff you don't like, but I define it as media that is inauthentic, quickly and lazily produced, usually on trending topics or drama, mostly made to appease the algorithm since it gets rewarded heavily.
The sloppier the better.
Really?
And this site is just infested with these. They feel more like economists rather than creators. Oh, and furries. See some pictures of furries. Very beautiful animal. It's just a neat way to explore character design and expression. I believe you can find inspiration in anything, even in the mush pile.
Man, right in the feels, man. Holy shit.
I used to watch Nux back when he did character analyses and his trolling was actually funny. He also did rap battles, later moved on to showing porn to his friends.
Fucking exceptionally young.
I stopped watching after his channel became more and more degenerate, and he leaned more into his flex on the hater persona. I was out long before Twitch's hentai. Since his avatar has stolen anime sans, I turned the red X mask into a skull mask, kind of like Cubone or that SCP that's based on this really cool fursuit. And I got kind of lazy and I didn't want to draw his legs, because VTubers don't even show their legs anyways. Nux came back under my radar after the Jaden drama, which, by the way, why are people so weird towards Jaden? And I come back to see that he's doing all this weird stuff, like he's just doing straight up piracy on his channel with his VTuber in the corner. Like, it's burned into my screen. I've watched way too many of these videos. What's interesting is that he doesn't do as many collabs as he used to, which were a big part of his channel back in the day. I guess everybody got post-Nux clarity. I also made a more dynamic piece of art with him. I really wanted to show off his decapitated head, which is just there to make him stand out a bit more. He really looks like a little shit.
And customers are going crazy for our specialty burgers. Why not try the Emoto?
Dude.
Flatbread bun.
I get it, bro. I get it, man. It's just odd. I don't like it.
I never watched Rev. He used to be a more anime-focused channel where he'd make anime memes or clip VTubers. And on a side note, as someone who's been following VTubers since 2019, it's kind of strange seeing how the scene has expanded. Like, we got talented singers and artists next to... Yeah, it's been rough. He's now in that anti-woke crowd and complains about Twitter people that don't exist. I'm reminded of that Assassin's Creed game where people didn't want to play as a black guy or a woman. But guys, it's Assassin's Creed. The games haven't been good in like 10 years. It's gonna suck regardless, even if you play as a gray rectangle. I really don't get anti-woke criticism. How can this be a satisfying way to engage with a game that you're not even gonna play?
I want to be intellectually challenged. I want content that will open my third eye. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
So his avatar is a young,
Fucking exceptionally young
vampire girl. It's just a legally distinct Nico from Love Live. So we'll turn her into an actual bat. They have these big old noses that are equipped with thermoreceptors, kind of like the heat pits on a python or viper. They use these to find the hottest part of their boat. Hey,
Not
Artie's
even
over
that
here.
lolly on the other page is sexy.
I also gave her that anime sweater that has the really stupid name, just so I can show off her wings, which are just vestigial, since you need a massive wingspan for her size. She was definitely the one I drew the most. I really like drawing her face, it's really weird. Oh, and by the way, please leave name suggestions. I'm pretty bad with names. Like, it's already bad enough that they're inspired by these guys, but I'm not naming my child Nux, I'm just being honest. I'd really like to note that there's a lot of weird shit these two have gotten up to, where it kind of moves them from dumb lame asses to dumb lame asses that spread hateful ignorance. I think the weirdest part is that they have beef with each other.
Oriwa o chinchin ga daisuki nandeyo.
Something slightly
Another
more
customer
Rule
statement.
34.
You guys are the same team. What do you think?
I don't really know what else to add to this. I guess I should say that her twin tails are detachable, but that's just a secret. Just look at this fucking nerd. She probably knows what media literacy is.
Wasn't there at all, everyone would still tune in. That's why my personality channel is just fucking booming. Where I give you my take on politics.
So Ian used to be one of my favorite YouTubers at one point. I still have this drawing from high school. It's traced, of course. My favorite series was the Save the Squirrels initiative, where his schemes would get more and more wacky. But he's most well known for Content Cop, where he'd call out creators and their bad content and behaviors. I think these videos are still good, but they've aged poorly due to outside forces. So Ian's become a reaction streamer where he semi-lucidly stares at the screen and says something boring. You know, if I was Jinx Buckethead, I'd be pissed. I was going to talk shit about the Cold Ones episode that he's in, but then I actually watched it for a second time, and it's like not a terrible video. You know, it's got its moments.
Scrape your fucking balls on this, and you can spin this, and it'll get frozen.
Honestly, the worst part is the comments. These are just so unfunny. But I think I should talk more about his apology video. When this video first came out, I was probably one of the only people to leave a like on it, mostly out of naivety. Like, I still thought the empathy thing was weird, but at the time I thought he was actually being very genuine in his apology. Of course, in hindsight, it's all just a bunch of baloney. And then H3 Content Cop, which, you know, I don't have to be the one to tell you how terrible this video is. It's not even about H3's podcast, which H3 podcast sucks, by the way. I never liked that. Like, for most of the video, he's crediting snart Reddits. Like, what is a snart? It seems like a very personal conflict that shouldn't have been taken online. And honestly, the worst part is that it's not even funny. It's just after this content fiasco where I just can't support Idubbbz anymore. But I'll be nice to the Dubster. I'll draw him as my favorite little critter, the mantis. Specifically a ghost mantis, which I actually have one. Her name is Darcy, same as that Funger character in the Cold Ones creature. Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out! I've been obsessed with mantids for most of my life. It's kind of surprising she's the first mantis I've met. They all look so cool and are incredible hunters, and they're just so aware. Unlike the crest on their head and neck are my favorite part. It's also used to sex them. You see the shape language? Yeah, we're gonna reference his haircut. I also gave him a prosthetic, since it's a common issue for mantises. If the conditions aren't right when they shed their exoskeleton, they can get stuck in it, losing a limb or even dying. Also, Ian has a gold tooth and could use an orange. Maybe piracy actually caused Creator Clash to fail.
What's inside a rubber band ball? Rubber bands!
Today, we are going to be drinking the furry potion. Oh my god, guys, gonna do
the Yoda. Yeah, it is. I am looking
Forgot
at
to tell you, Nate made a big stinky poop in the bathroom at school.
So next is Anisa, Idubbbz' wife, who I'm not really invested in. She's just not really well regarded for pretty valid reasons. Honestly, calling her a SlopTuber is kind of a stretch. She hasn't really made anything. But I just wanted to draw another mantis. This time I based her around a spiny flower mantis, which looks so unique and beautiful. They go from this dark magenta to this pale ivory. They're my favorite mantis species. Don't tell her. Hey, wait a minute, I guess I should say that these two characters were designed with each other in mind. Like how she uses a lot more curved lines, as opposed to him being a lot more angular. I guess the most influence Anisa had over this design were the stickers on her abdomen, which are supposed to be a stand-in for her tattoos. By the way, bugs don't have boobs, it's fine. Now we got some cute ship art. This is probably my favorite piece that I made for this video. I've just had this weird idea for a while, and I'm really happy how it turned out. Look at that, they're doing a legit food review. And with the way things are going, they'll probably have to eat each other.
Puppy kicker, how are those sound effects coming? Not so good. Every time I search for injured puppy noises, I end up on a government watch.
So our final critter is the king of SlopTubes, as I dub him. There's a whole economy based around supporting and hating him. It's pretty insane, actually. So much that it overshadows him as an individual.
Kind of my YouTube crush.
Like, yeah, I get he's an easy target, and it also is annoying that he gets away with a bunch of bullshit, but I don't need Rev to tell me this. Okay, but how is his content? Like, ignore all the controversies, all the death threats, the 9/11, shocking his dog. Now, would you be surprised that it's just another reaction guy? I know it might sound like I hate reaction videos, because I do. Like, I try to make one, and this is just a bunch of bullshit. Led by Joshua. This is based on a guy named Josh. Although the difference is that Hasan's stream is just never a good time. Like, Chad is always trying to rage bait him, and he's going on a tirade against a single person. And the dog's getting stressed out, and he's watching the news, which is like already depressing enough. I get negativity sells. You know, you probably wouldn't click on this video if it was about YouTubers I feel neutral towards. I think I'll just move on to the drawing now. I'm gonna go through a different route for this one, since there's really only an idea of Hasan Piker. So I'm gonna focus on one of his only human traits, his Turkish ancestry, which is yet another thing he didn't work for. So I took some inspiration from the Turkish myth of Asena, who's a she-wolf, I don't know what that is, that takes in this injured boy and nurses him back to health. At first this reminded me of Remus and Romulus, but instead of inventing Rome, the kid fucks the dog, which is actually pretty in character for Hasan.
Come to your house and I'm gonna have sex with your dog.
She then gives birth to a bunch of half-human, half-wolf babies, who then rule over all the Turkish tribes. That's a great story. I know she's kind of a generic wolf design. It kind of fails the prompt, but I still like her. Now time for the evil illustration. Kind of one of those POV dates that you'll never go on. Which I've drawn one of these before, but I think we'll go a bit more edgy on this one. I think Hasan will really appreciate it. But what if it was real, and not just a stupid drawing? What if? So as a sort of lukewarm finale, I'm going to be drawing all our critters in a Draw the Squad meme. These kinds of images were pretty popular a couple years ago. And I don't know why, but they really piss me off for some reason. I just don't really get what they're supposed to mean. But I chose this one for our slop buddies. Okay, I get why people make these. I actually had a lot of fun drawing this. Kind of change it so that they're all having a fun time at the beach. Anyway, anything I made in this video is going to be posted on the community tab. Which I'm not going to use Twitter anymore. If there's anything you could take away from this video is that all these people use Twitter and they're all friggin' miserable. Maybe Blue Sky? Aren't those the guys that made the Blue Bird movie? Oh yeah, and a final thing. To avoid getting trapped in the slop, this is the last time I'll ever talk about these people, so I hope that I've said everything I had to say. You know, I just want to get all my thoughts out of my mind and never think of these people again. They're all banned. They're not like you. You're always on my mind. Viewer. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe.